Okay. Okay, let's do the usual thing. Okay. And let's put into chat that it's practically useless as for now, but hey. I need to upgrade my internet, that's for sure. No, for the microphone, I'm not intending to buy to pay extra because the cables are shit. So I will not pay extra. Let's do the usual announcement whenever I can. I need to see why it's a bit, yeah, it's code a little bit glitchy, a little bit blurry, but who knows? I need to investigate that. By the way, there should be something like it's not possible that I'm doing these every single time. Maybe I should change. Oh well, who gives? So for the record, right now I want. Yes, okay. There is practically this issue, we can say, in which, by the way, 3D models done by another 3D artist on the project. Um, why this one is here? Okay. Practically, there one thing I want to fix and one thing I want to change. Okay. Practically, the first one is so practically the first thing I want to change is practically like this, that I don't know why sometimes when I compile the blueprint it will go empty as you've seen before. And the second one is I want to randomize here all the walls because there are let's see how many variants of the wall. 2 variants of the wall. Very easy, very quick, nothing fancy. So practically the thing I'm thinking in a way is that I need to put a static mesh here, a static mesh here in which I practically change a Mamoran, in which I change the the mesh. Okay. And practically speaking, the first idea I had was practically to put mm, mm, was putting a set static mesh. Okay, here, still inside here. Set static mesh, SM wall, not a problem. And using this wall array. Wait, no, sorry, this one. Okay. Which, as for now, it's only one mesh in a way. And we need to go like this. Okay, compile, not a problem. Compile. Okay, and we have this one. If we go one, and we do compile, we will change the mesh. We want a random. Just a second, because I think there is a crap ton of noise coming from my computer. How hot it is? No? Okay, perfect. So we need a random number between the last index and the first elements, we can say. Okay, so we need to set random integer in which the maximum number is 1. Get last index here, okay? Meaning that the last index is the maximum number and it's a random integer between 0 and 1, we can say, okay? So practically this was my idea, okay? And it worked completely flawlessly, obviously. So I want random integer in range. And this is what happens. Sometimes it's complete empty, but I still have a random wall. Okay, I need to remove a little bit this one for a second. Okay. And I still don't understand why it's empty right now, because it's a random integer, meaning that it should be between 0 and 1. But that's for another time. It's still a little bit of a buggish, but I can ask to the programmer of the game to understand why these bugs happen. So practically my thinking right now, okay, is because I'm giving it like a starting value, okay, that doesn't change with the repetition practically. Because as for now, I have this one that it's a for loop, okay, and that's why it's I'm having practically all the repetition of the mesh. I want to be honest, I'm not so sure how it works on a logical level, because I'm practically having different index and those different index are practically creating the repetition between the walls. Meaning that this one This one should be like what I need, this last index. So let's see if this change it. Okay, the usual problem. Okay, not. Okay. Because I want to create a lesser coded type of thing in a way. I want to be this one lesser coded than ever, meaning that what I need to my ideal project will be, hey, I add wall meshes here into array and it will automatically update the array. Because as for now, the thing that I have, as for now, in my mind was practically like this. Okay, let's put a random integer here, and I put here. It's not a fract. It should be something like a fract node, if I remember correctly the name. It's temodulo. Temodulo. It practically means that if I put the modulo, no, it doesn't work. Okay, now I want to do something strange in a way that doesn't make sense. Okay. No, I need this one. I just don't need this one. So I want to check out if I can do this. No. Let's do a little bit promote to variable. Okay. Wall test. Okay. And we remove this one. Like here's a little bit, if the, a little bit of a trick. Okay. And let me just remove. Well, I set a static mesh from the ESM wall, but I don't need it like this. If you need to have like this kind, you have this kind of error, you just promote to variable that input and you will have the correct variable. Array, change variable type. Let's say get copy. And this should work. Wall test, okay. Compile, okay, seems good for now. Okay, so what a white square means. Okay. Yeah, I understand the reason. Let's see if I can break an array. No. Array. Hmm. No. Okay. And let's see this one. No, I don't need this one. Okay. Okay. No, not this one. Okay, this one is a bit. I honestly don't know how to search for these because unless it's a file media. Okay, practically I literally need to check every single here. Okay. Okay, let's see what does it mean. Okay, and I'm a moron. Let's see if now I can. Oh, I always forget. Uh, okay. Hmm. You know what? Let's return a little bit with the previous version because I think I'm making a crap ton of confusion. So, first of all, what? Yeah. So practically, I need to have this one in this position and having a random number between 0 and 1, or more or less a random number between. So, in theory, I should. I should add the instance and after that setting the static mesh. Okay, maybe I'm just a moron. Okay, and practically it's the same thing on the surface. But this means that now I have the array and I have the return value of the index. Now I want to test out how this works. Okay. Let's do a modulo and see how it goes. Okay. This is intriguing. Okay, this is intriguing again, I want to be honest. Okay, meaning that... okay, now if we go to 3, but if we go to 0, it will be 0. If I go here with 1, ah, let's go with 4. Okay, at 4 I have the bug, and on 3 I will not have the bug. Ah, yeah, this one was a previous. Okay. Let's go with 1. Okay, fair enough. As for now, okay, that will need to... Okay, and I have a random number between 0 and 2. Okay. but it's always like the same index. Okay. Add an int to this component. Okay, let's get a random integer in range. In range, okay. I want this one to be the minimum, but the max. Okay, we have 0, 1, okay. Okay. Get random array item, okay. It is random array. Now, I really need to understand why I have an empty. Because as for now, I don't have an empty array element. Okay, now this doesn't a real... No, it's not from here. But more or less, I want still a random array. Okay, still, if everything is empty, it means that it doesn't work. Wait, get copy, get copy, okay. Let's do some experiment to see how it works. Fuck, I didn't need to save. Still the same problem as before. But I need to have... Okay, so practically this is the issue I'm having, and I want to be honest, it's a very royal pain to understand how to let it work. Okay. So practically, I have this array that goes to here from 0 to n. Okay, practically. And I have a wall every single step. And this is practically the width. So practically this one is array 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay, meaning that I have an array list from here. Okay. Meaning that in every position of those, I need to have a random number, a random mesh between. What the hell happened? Why it's so that I want a random between wall A and wall B. And those are distinct arrays. Okay, those are different um, array numbers. Okay. So how do I do it? And practically it should be like, let me see if the real documentation is useful for once. Real add instance. No, yes, but I don't want it from 5.6, but for 5 points. Okay. That's on me, effectively. Look, Ariel, I love it that you try to um, give me the Italian version, but I don't want. Yeah, but okay. Unreal add instance integer output. Hmm. Okay, let's see the. Okay. No. Because here's the point. In a previous game, I solved the problem by putting an array during the target, meaning that you have a random target between per instance, but it was glitchy as hell. Okay. No. A pan array clear contains item find I. Okay. No. Audio? Fair enough. Okay. For each loop. Maybe I'm just a moron. Meaning that let's search for each loop. Okay. And I don't have it. Okay. Hmm. But now I discovered that I can use, and this is the array index. Okay. Meaning that array. So if I put this one here, okay, okay. And it always give me the one that is at array index 1 or 0. Okay. Okay, it's the same. Okay, and we want to look the body. We want to be like this, but this means that... Okay. And we have to new mesh, and this is the array element. Meaning that if we go random array item, random array item. Okay. Let's see. Random new mesh. And it's stable. It's not... okay. Hmm. Okay, what happens if I put it from here? Nothing happens. Okay. Hmm. Length. Okay, this is intriguing. Mm. Now we know for sure that we can get a loop here. Now I want to know in we does this for each loop array does. Fair enough, I need to okay, I'm a little bit because now I know that if I do for loop, okay, because this is still what we need. We have this index value and we need to associate a random item between those. And what I'm struggling is creating a link between the mesh and the index number. Meaning that we should have a return value for this. Meaning that we need to apply some magic between this a distance and set a static mesh. Because we still need, I think, one of the, like, for each loop. And okay. This one means that for each loop, meaning that for each list, something happens. So for now, my intuition says somehow that we need to have a random that I need to link this array selection to this one. I don't know how. Okay, let's try this. Completely broken. Try it. Okay. Okay. Maybe I tried already this one. Okay. And now here comes the very, very fun part. Okay. And it will take only the 0. Maybe I need to add 1. And now it will give me only the first, the 1. Maybe I need okay, this is good because it means that it's refreshing because it's refreshing by instance. This is good. Okay, this is good. By instance. And a mistake doesn't happen, but I need to refresh it by instance. But this means that as for now, if I put, for example, this one and I compile it, okay. Okay, so it means that it will give me always. By the way, when you do this kind of stuff, it's always good to put like something that will be similar to the print statement, meaning that you will know for sure how it will work. So let's do this. And if you go -1, what happens? It will give me number 0. And if we go to 0, it will give me S1. Okay, I'm a little bit confused as okay. Maybe. Okay, and will always be the last index as for now. And if I add 1, it will always be 10 numbers 0. Okay. This is the input. Okay. Meaning that it doesn't matter as for now what I put into array length. Now I'm more confused than before. Because now it will give me always... Okay, fair enough, because it's not the right one. But now it gives me index 4. Why it gives me index 4? And now why this one gives me index 0? And now it gives me always index 0. I don't understand, okay? I need to know if I can print debug. No. Okay, just put a little bit, I will take a little bit of a rest, asking my colleagues in a way. So see you later.